Oh, it's getting wild out there. It's getting wild out there, the streaming circus. And I feel like it's kind of running in circles. But it's getting more and more out of control, and more people are jumping in to that circle. And you know what? I'm here for it, dude. I am so entertained by all of the crash outs. Everybody's like doing the Spider-Man meme. They're pointing fingers at each other when everybody, in my opinion, is doing wrong. Everybody. And I'm not even saying that I'm doing right. We're probably all wrong. Dude, the culture, at least it's shifting, man. At least it's shifting. And it was all because of the whole Mizkif Imaru situation. And I'm here for it. We got Dean So Cool. Please, with the remaining Mizkids, to reconsider what they're defending.
Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I...
Oh, bro, I just heard that. What
yeah,
the
you
fuck
did
this nigga just say?
We all
Wait.
That the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or
He could have been hurt. He could have been hurt with all those stuffed animals that was being thrown his way. Never mind that he threw a phone at her and blacked her eye.
Okay. Now, listen. Mizkids. Listen, I know some of y'all gonna back him to the death. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But like, come on, man. Right? Come on. Right? Right?
He's right.
Come on. We're not, come on. We're not gonna just close.
Emmy was also...
True words of genius, dude. We know what everybody's saying, and they don't even have to say anything. They don't even have to say much. All we gotta say is like, come on, man. Come on.
I'll message them, and then like it'll be kind of become a thing, and then they're like, oh, like let's take it to the next step, and I'm always like, no, I want to just be alone.
So you just don't want a girlfriend?
No, absolutely not.
Eventually?
Whatever.
Do you think you're gonna be single forever?
Gay.
Hopefully.
Didn't he put the like
Gay.
I don't know.
Why do you want to be single forever?
Because there's too many opportunities for women that I feel like monogamy is so difficult nowadays.
What if you had like a polyamorous relationship?
Where I could f other girls?
Sure.
Then hell yeah.
What
Find me
a
a girl that's
degenerate.
willing to do that, that literally does not care. That's like, yeah, you can go f other girls. I don't want her to f other guys though. She's
Of
gotta
course.
stay put.
So do you think that there's any like excitement though in
Dude, that's that controlling double standards energy that he was playing with Emiru.
having like a long-term exclusive relationship where you get to know her super well, she gets to know you?
Oh yeah, dude, it sounds like such a beautiful blessing to find someone, to romanticize it, to get married, to then have children. But what about when those kids are like 8 years old and your wife got fat and you look uglier?
What?
worried about Emmy getting fat? Oh my god.
Dude,
And
he's
your
down
eye bags
bad.
are 6 feet deep, and you are sleeping on separate couches now, and you're running around the house constantly trying to clean up. That's not fun.
It's
to me.
oddly specific. It doesn't have to be that way, though.
It could. All right, you can.
And it hardly ever is that way. What are you talking about?
afford a
Yeah,
nanny.
sure, they could, but it could not. As
But
well.
let's say 10 years out from now, you know, let's say even, you know,
That sounds like a complete L move if you end up having your life that way. Like, you allow that to happen.
20 years out from now,
Yeah.
when you're getting older, you know, maybe your knees, you're kind of a little decrepit at that point. What are you going to do if you want to, you know, settle down when your options have diminished because you're...
He won't be able to. He's going to be lonely forever.
Why would my options diminish?
Because you're older and decrepit.
Look at Leonardo DiCaprio, dude.
Bro, you ain't no Leonardo DiCaprio. What the fuck are you talking about?
After years being part of Twitch community, friends with Mizkif, not once have I ever heard anything good from him from his own people. It was always the weirdest, dumbest, the most egotistical stuff I've ever heard. And everyone just dealt with it. If you're against him, he'll convince everyone around his circle to not associate with you. He'll do things in his power as a big content creator to put you in a weird position to forgive him or talking bad of him. You know what I saw? You know, it's really funny that I'll read that right now. Because, listen to this.
Live to your studio audience, because some of them have probably never watched me before.
Amen to that. Go ahead.
Who was there for you when you were a young, small buck on the scene? Who was there for you to grow you out of the mold and transform you into this massive content creator that you've once become?
I remember.
So before
Dude, he thinks he is the streaming god. It turns out he just wanted to be streaming god, but really he was streaming Lucifer and he fell.
I say anything, I want to ask you something in return.
Yeah.
On the first stream I ever did with you, did you not message me first and beg me to be on that stream even though I told you no? And then when I finally came on that stream, you called me a leech?
Studio audience, because some of them have probably never watched.
Dude, that's so painful. So apparently Asmongold thinks that Mizkif is view-botting, and I probably think that most everybody is view-botting, except for Asmongold and Tectone and Nuxanor. People like that. People in the circle of people that I like. And if I find out that they're doing a bunch of garbage shit, I'm gonna stop following them. But until then, they seem to be very, very honest, especially with the fact that they are garbage.
How about that? What is this?
That's why I like them. They can admit it.
Yeah, never been better.
Wait, what's wrong?
What's wrong?
No, I just stare out a couple. Like, my brain uses so much work, and then I have to charge for like 30 seconds, so I'm good again.
You use your brain?
I'm sorry.
Got him.
Dude.
Wow. Okay. She just is not having it, man. That's a great thumbnail picture.
Oh, God. It's like, oh, great. My boyfriend's embarrassing me in front of my friends again. For what? For nothing.
I'm fucking done.
I'm fucking done.
The theatrics. You can't. Luckily, it's like, it does look like outdoor furniture.
Why would you do that? What is it? Like,
Oh my God.
Amy's
Who does
face,
this
though.
shit?
It's all like, dude. You're you're so extra, bro. You're doing too much for real, for real.
I saw this whenever it happened.
Are you thirsty?
She trying to talk to the cat?
Got some water.
We've got some water for you. Yeah.
Someone said plus 50 testosterone.
Damn.
Man.
I like the sound of that. I get.
So he's been losing followers for a while now. Not even really since this, but just for a bit. Damn. So he's basically right now at 2025, negative 9,000.
Probably because everybody was hearing about what was happening behind the scenes. We were hearing the rumors, and it was pretty much all but confirmed.
That's
So
pretty
recently,
bad.
then it was confirmed.
September 29th, obviously botting. Now,
Yeah,
this does look. Now, let me tell you something, right?
it looks bad.
Now, I've seen a lot of graphs in my day.
Look at this graph.
This is not a good graph. This graph does not look good. Do I think he's botting? Yeah, 100%. 100% he's botting. Absolutely. It's
Probably got
obvious.
a bot farm.
Now,
Probably
I'm not
paying
sure
for a
about
bot
it,
farm.
but I think, yeah. I think
There's
he is.
no way he's not.
I think for sure, right? I mean, you look at that and Saint, show yours. Yeah, sure, I can show mine. There it is. Pretty consistent. Goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up, stays up, then goes down slowly, and then it goes down, right? It's real simple, right? That's the way a graph is supposed to look. You go look at, I'm just going to click on another random one, right? Goes up again, and then it went down super fast. There it is done. So that's it. 100% not sure. Yeah, it's a bell curve. Right? So no intro helps with the instant viewers. Yeah, exactly. I don't even have an intro or anything like that. So like people just like pop in immediately. But like you can see also like people, like you see at most normal graphs hit their peak viewership and they climb to that peak viewership within about 2 hours of the stream. So I pull up a song. I'm gonna pull up random stream.
Uh-oh.
It took him about
So
2
he's
hours.
not view botting.
So
I didn't think so
I don't know, I
anyway.
think it might be a bug with the website. I don't know why his follower count's red.
Yep,
I'm not sure.
Just for him.
It's shocking to me to see that, but you know, it could just be a bug with the website. Obviously, like, things have not really been going great for him. But you can see, like, but he's not view botting, right? He's not view botting. And so, like, the fact is, it's the same general graph. Like, you compare that with this. Like, what is this, bro? Like, this is like somebody just got resuscitated from the dead.
And how it just goes straight across right there.
Maybe it's true.
Speaking of Asmongold, let's check out. This is the cultural shift I've been waiting for. We've all been waiting for, dude. Let's go.
Okay, we're not going to watch the whole thing, obviously, because it's really kind of long. But this is basically where people have been losing their minds. People have been out of their fucking mind about this, furious at this, like, so mad.
I love it.
We played a little while ago. God, people are friggin' being annoying in my chat.
I don't love what happened to Imiru, and I don't love what Mizkif did, but everything else around it, I'm fucking eating it up, man.
Sorry now.
Why?
It's diabolical.
They just like be going on what are they saying, Vanilla?
That about the homophobic jokes. They're like, but then you just if you still hang out with someone like that, then you just support it.
So basically what happened is that QTCinderella said that she would hang out with people that were in phase because...
Dude, this is what happens when you pander to these people, man. Don't pander to that crowd. They painted themselves into a box.
As the people that are in phase are, you know, like they said, yeah, they make homophobic jokes, but they don't do that around me. And also, like, you know, how can you change somebody and make somebody see your point of view if you just always demonize them and hate them, right?
Yeah, if you demonize everybody who gets demonized, then you're gonna have nobody to collab with, and you're gonna be all alone.
So that's basically what she was saying. And like that, and this is, by the way, this is the normal opinion. That's what normal people think, right? But obviously, here's the problem: is we on the internet, bitch. So people are mad as fuck about this.
I'm not. I'm actually probably worse about it because I'm not mad, and I'm just kind of here to watch the war go down. Back when the Civil War happened, there were people up on the mountaintop that they were watching. It wasn't a mountaintop; it was a hill. They were watching because they didn't believe that there was going to be a civil war. And then there was a civil war. An actual battle took place in front of them, and they were surprised. But I'm the guy that's up on the hill that's watching, knowing what was about to go down. And I'm reporting on it.
And also, another reason, by the way, why Cutie is hanging out with the phase people. And I like Cutie, but let's be honest. The reason why you're hanging out with them is because they got a lot of viewers.
True.
Right? You're friends with them because they're really popular.
Yep.
If they were getting like 1 or 2K viewers, you'd be talking about how bad they are. That's what I think. No, I don't know that. I don't know that, but that's what I think.
It's all about views and clout and popularity. Money.
I think that once a person, because people would levy the same criticism at people like Kai or like fucking XQC, but a lot of these people will put that aside. In my opinion, like, this is what people need to understand with like any sort of virtue signaling. This is my favorite part about it, is that it puts somebody in between the position of virtue signaling and clout. And what it reveals is that the virtue signaling only existed in service of gaining clout. And I think a lot of these viewers are starting to realize that. That's the truth. Again, maybe
I've realized this a long time ago. Long time ago. Really around COVID is when I really started to pick up on things. Just how many people were willing to lie and destroy like families and businesses because of feelings.
it's a mean thing to say.
And actually, it really started real bad in 2016, but I wasn't paying that much attention. I was kind of just off in my own world doing my own thing.
Maybe people might not want to hear that. That's a fact.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
That's a fact. I've seen it. I've seen it. And I am at a position.
Holy shit, I'm wearing an Avatar shirt. That's funny. I did not mean to make that connection.
Position now where I just don't give a fuck. I just do not give a fuck. I will just come out and say this stuff because I think somebody needs to, because we live in such an era of inauthenticity that somebody needs to come out and say that it's real.
No, so this
And by the way, I totally support Cutie. I think she's totally right about this. But I also think that she's cultivated an audience over the years, and she's basically created...
Dude, we tried to warn these people all along, the entire time. Do not pander to the modern audience. Because as soon as you step out of line an inch, they have your head. Just be normal.
She's created this type of an audience. She has.
Yep. And so many others.
My criticism of her, but like I like her as a person. I've spoken to her multiple times. I think she's a very, very nice girl.
What I'm gonna describe, okay? And you guys can believe what you can believe.
I know, like I want, like explain it. I want you to like explain it better.
This shit, by the way, has like tens of millions of views on TikTok. Like people are losing their fucking mind on this.
I'm gonna explain
more than that.
You guys can believe what you
It's got more than that because there's so many people clipping it.
want to believe. I understand, but you're not allowed to coach me and say like that's not right, that's not what you like, just because I don't act the same way you act.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to like coach me through that, because at the end of the day, I am somebody that's like,
yeah, you don't get to tell me what to do. And this is the reason that's the whole problem with this whole community, right, that they build, is that the community that they build is fundamentally a bunch of people that want to tell you what to do.
Yep.
Hyper controlling.
They're not watching you. They think they're a part of the show. It's parasocial as fuck.
Very invasive, obnoxious, aggressive people that want to tell you what to do.
bitch, I'm an ally. Like
Bitch, I'm an ally. Get the fuck out of here with that.
And I know
I am
where
not
I'm at.
homophobic.
That's
Everybody
and I
knows
know
I'm
where
not
I'm at.
homophobic. It doesn't matter who I talk to. Like the thing is, it's like I was raised in a very religious family. Unfortunately, there are people...
no, she's downplaying it. She raised as a Mormon.
Yeah, very, very different. Also, religion. Religion bad. I'm a Christian, but I'm not part of the Christian religion. I'm part of the Christian faith. And let me tell you, if you're a smart person and you're a Mormon, usually you end up not being a Mormon, but also you go the other way and just cast out all faith and religion in general.
Oh, yeah.
People in my family that are racist. There are people in my family that are bigoted. There are people in my family that are
really
homophobic.
religious.
There's people in my family that are transphobic.
By the way, W Mormons. Like
True.
I was not familiar with
being a Mormon is way better than being secular.
Their game until they said that they were saying prayers of the family that shot up the Mormon school. I have never met a Mormon that was not an incredibly lawful good person.
True.
I think the underwear shit they do is silly as fuck. And maybe some of that Jonathan Smith thing, I don't really believe in that. But I've never met a bad Mormon.
Like, but I still love my family, right? And I still know that there are that members of my family have good.
Yeah, that's how you gotta be. I've got friends who are like flat out racist. I'm not actually racist. I think racism is funny. Not real racism. Well, I will laugh at you if you're a real racist. And that's the point.
Good qualities. They have good qualities. And what's most important to get people to love other people is to love them.
She's right.
Fighting hate with hate will never get anything anywhere.
Well, it will. It will get you likes on Twitter. It'll get you a lot of likes on Twitter. It'll make you feel like you're a good person because you did something that matters. That's the reason why.
If I were to say to someone who's homophobic, go fuck yourself, you homophobic prick.
Wah!
Yes, I told them what they deserve. However, they aren't.
Did you achieve anything?
Nope.
Did you achieve anything? Did you do anything?
You just kind of rage baited them.
Thing of value. Did you improve the situation? Did you make the world a better place? No, you didn't. You didn't do a fucking thing. You just did what made you feel good in the time that you saw. The entire internet now is built around an apparatus of people that have collectively conditioned influencers to condition them into a state of learned helplessness. All information and all news on the internet and a lot of influencer input is completely agency removed.
Oh,
everything
okay, yeah,
is
that
because
too.
of women. oh, women are the problem of fucking everything. No, not really. You're probably the problem. Or, oh, men are the reason for all this. Or, oh.
I'd hate to tell you this. That was a perfect pause. Everybody's the problem. It's everybody collectively. It's not one person. It's not a group of people. It's everything and everyone. The world sucks.
Oh, Republicans or oh, Democrats.
People suck.
No, bro. No, the reason is that you have a lot of losers on the internet that go on the internet because they're fucking losers and they're looking for somebody that's going to tell them that they're not a loser. And it's
if you think that you're not a loser, you're the biggest loser.
Actually the only thing that they can possibly do with their
I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? And they take that literal.
Life. They are doing the best that they can by playing League of Legends 18 hours a day, jerking off to animals that aren't real on DeviantArt, and ordering DoorDash with their mom's credit card, living in a basement. People love to have their agency removed from them because that gives them the freedom to be nothing and to justify it. How do you know my life? I got that camera. You haven't seen it yet?
They're gonna feel accepting. They're never gonna learn how to be accepting. Like, do you understand that if you just write people off because they believe different things than you, they're never going to be...
Dude, we're coming around. She's coming around. Let's go. She probably actually isn't. She's just saying things to get off of her chest, but she is bright.
Exposed to why it's good to be around people that don't think like you, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It's why Jesus hung out with prostitutes and tax collectors and things.
No,
like,
I see that.
So my stepbrother is trans,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad refuses to use the correct pronouns.
And does right.
So dad's an asshole. Okay, sure.
I disagree.
And
I think that he's actually good for doing that because you shouldn't allow people to be delusional.
He doesn't understand that he doesn't understand why it's so important, right? And it drives me crazy.
It's important for Satan.
And it drives my stepbrother crazy, of course. But I've had to say to my dad...
Now, everybody says base dad. I disagree. If I had a kid that was trans, I would want to, you know, ideally, being trans and going through transition surgery would be the last line of action, right? But this is an adult brother. This is an adult.
I don't give a shit.
As a parent,
nah.
At a certain point, you shouldn't be trying to control your adult child's life. You should respect what they want to do.
Yeah, but why lie, though? Why would I lie and tell a male that male is a female? Nope, I'm out on that.
That's it. Yeah, I would respect what my kids would want to do. Because, and the reason why is because I know people might not agree with that are in my community. But
yep.
I would do it because that's what my parents did for me. Like
Is Asmongold coming out to say that he used to be a woman?
They said you can do anything that you want. You can be anything that you want. If you want to go out and sell drugs.
Yeah, you don't become a dinosaur though and have your parents refer to you as a dinosaur. That's not how that fucking works. But if my kid was trans, I would constantly make jokes and I would expect them to make jokes back. And I will refuse to buy into the delusion. But at the same time, I'm not going to be a complete dick about it. I'm just going to lay it out like how it is. And I don't think that we would have children that would end up becoming trans. I think that is caused by mental derangement.
Drugs, good. If you want to go out and be a lawyer, good. If you want to go out and break into people's cars and shit like that,
those are professions though. All that you're listing right now are professions.
Good. Do whatever you want to do. We're going to support you because we're your parents and we're going to do whatever we want. Yeah,
but I would think that supporting your child actually would not be buying into the derangement.
That was it. So you reinforce their mental illness? Well, no, the thing is, it's not
an illness, it's derangement.
About reinforcing a mental illness. It's about obviously I wouldn't immediately say like, you know, my kid's 8 years old and he's like, I like wearing a dress. I said, damn, I guess we need to get you transition surgery, right? Like I would not agree to having that done on my child whenever they were underage. Absolutely. But whenever they're an adult, they get to make adult choices. And at the end of the day,
I disagree that that's an adult choice though.
It would be more important for me to preserve the relationship that I had with my child than for me to uphold a viewpoint that is, you know, to me, really inconsequential. I don't care what gender somebody thinks they are or not, because that's not what defines a human being. Like you have, at that point, 20 years of life experience with this person. This person is you know, you.
Men should not wear women's clothing. Women should not wear men's clothing. It's very defined in the Bible.
Who made this person? No, of course I wouldn't throw that away over some fucking bullshit pronoun thing. Absolutely not. And by the way, her brother hasn't either, and neither has she. The funniest thing about this is that
that's how it should be. If you're in that situation, that's how it should be. I think they are in the perfect situation, at least from what I'm hearing.
They all agree with this. They do. You're a hypocrite? No, I'm not. I'm actually not. Like, I'm the only person that's not a hypocrite.
The only person ever.
Yeah, that's it. Do you call your son a she? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I would do it. I wouldn't want to, like, I would go through I would say, are you sure that you feel this way? And I would try to help them get through their gender dysphoria as much as possible. I would, but at the end of the road, if nothing else worked.
Yeah, if my kid was trans, they would have a good sense of humor about it. So it's not even going to matter for me.
I would.
Go ahead. Leave me hate.
I would, because it matters more to me than doing that. Like, why is chat mad? Because, and this is the thing, like, and I say this every time, right?
Yeah, this is why I don't give a shit. Like, everybody gets mad, and I'm like, well, be mad, I guess.
And so you wouldn't Elon and cut him out? No, I wouldn't. And the thing is, and this is an adult, by the way, too. And so the only reason I would disown my child is if they were a furry. Yeah, of course, right? Chat Dean disagreeing with Asmongold goes against his chat 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I told you I go against my chat all the time, right?
Yep, and I go against Asmongold all the time.
And why can't the son just accept dad doesn't want to call you by your pronouns, respect your elders? Of course he can do that. Like, if my dad didn't want to call me or accept me for what I was, I would also respect that as a son. So let me talk about it from a different perspective. Maybe you guys might see it from, like, maybe you guys might understand, like,
let's move on from this issue.
Microsecond. Even whenever I was approval or anything, I want to do idiotic, choose to exist until you of me dating a damn, that raise me as my, that's the real point. And so hopefully, can you guys see now that I've explained it from both positions where my principle is and my value system is on this?
I already knew where it was.
I think that a lot of people might have been getting it confused inside of just like the trans ideology. It's got nothing to do with that.
I think that he's got literally the same take as I do, except for he's at the end of it kind of forks off. Like, our conclusion is different.
My dad, one time, we were driving by and like there was some really, really hot black girl, and we were driving by and like I was like 20 at the time, and my dad's like, damn, you know, y'all boys is lucky now. And I said, why is that? And he says, well, back whenever I was a kid, you know, like, you know, you could really only date a white chick, but now y'all boys, you got the whole rainbow.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You got the whole color spectrum. I said, okay.
It's true, though.
Is that right? And he just said this shit just out of nowhere. And so anyway, yeah. And you know, he like...
Yeah, so all the people who were truly racist, get the fuck out of here. All the people who pretend that everybody is racist, like me and Asmongold, and Tectone and Nuxnor, and like all the white people that I like. If you think that we're racist, get the fuck out of here. If you're anti-racist, get the fuck out of here. Like, we do not care about the racism.
Fuck it, he like 65 or something like that at the time. And so anyway, but usually mentally ill pronoun people demand a respect or shit or threaten violence. Well, if I had my kid threatening violence on me, that's a totally different topic, right? Like now we're at...
I don't think that we are capable of having children that would be threatening violence, even if they were for some reason somehow trans.
Advancing the topic into a place that it's not. I'm talking about the principle of the language. Like, now you're adding in like a third thing. Like, obviously every personal situation's different, but like, and I'm talking about like on a principle basis. That's it. Yeah, you moving the goalpost. Now we're talking about something different.
I want to talk about something besides trans issues.
You know, it's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you to say the correct pronouns.
Just do it.
But it does hurt him when you say the wrong ones.
Exactly.
Right.
I think it hurts to say the correct ones, you know?
Right.
And you know what the difference is I'm able to have this conversation with my dad because I'm open-minded and we love each other. My stepbrother just says fuck off and won't talk to my dad. So there's no progress being made. Right?
Yep.
And so you can believe what you want. You guys can you can say that. You can say to me.
I think, by the way, if anybody thinks that this mindset is wrong, go watch this. Go watch Daryl Davis talk about it. That's a person that made a difference.
I think I did.
That's a person that made.
Oh, is that the KKK guy that he pulled people out of the KKK?
Change. Not some loser ass bitch sitting on Twitter and TikTok crying.
Yep, it is. I see it now.
Yeah, this is a fucking hero right here. Daryl Davis went and made a personal connection with multiple men who were actively in the Ku Klux Klan and allowed those people into his life and made a connection with them so strong that it made them renounce their connection with the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
That's America's finest? Exactly. That's an OG. He has the Klan robes off a dozen Klansmen. That's right. And these people have the audacity to go and criticize her for this. It's disgusting. It really is. Disgusting losers. He collects the hoods? Yeah.
No, you're supporting it. I'm not. I don't support that my father is transphobic at times. I don't support that.
Yeah.
Yep, people have fucking stupid takes. People have stupid ideas in their heads. I'm not going to stop talking to somebody for that. What I will stop talking to people for is like when they defend violence and terrorism and pedophilia, which I have cut off a few friends for that.
I'm not. I don't support it. Period. The end. But I still love my dad and I'll go to coffee with him tomorrow. But I don't support that.
She's getting canceled for being normal.
Yep.
The world is not as black as white as everyone thinks.
Exactly.
Like you guys, you can't fight hate with hate. It doesn't get you anywhere. It literally does not get you anywhere. Like, it's so important to, like, as someone who's very open-minded, to be around closed-minded people and show them that it's okay to be open-minded is actually one of the most important things you can do. Like, as a human. It really is. But I get it. You guys can think what you think. I'm not going to change, though. I'm not going to...
Yeah.
I will never believe that if I'm kind to a hateful person, that means I agree with them. I will never believe that. No matter what you guys say, I won't believe it because...
Yeah, you'll never be able to hang out with anybody, ever. You'll never be able to have friends, family, if you hang out with people that have different takes than you, or you think have really stupid takes, or really that you think they're kind of evil for their takes. But at the end of the day, it's just thoughts and words. Judge people by their actions.
At the end of the day,
their real life actions.
If
Those people live their whole life on the internet because they're losers. They live their whole life on the internet because they're losers. They don't have any friends. That's why they're there to begin with. They don't understand why a person might not want to do that. You have a selection bias there, right?
I'm a racist person. I'm just not racist. I'm not. Me? I'm not. They are. Yes. But how am
Was Valkyrie racist towards QT? Was Valkyrie racist? No, she told the truth, and the truth was racist. Ray was not racist. She told the truth. No, for real.
I agree. I do agree. I think it was really dumb. I think that Valkyrie's take was dumb. I think QTCinderella's take is kind of dumb. Saying she's not racist. Dude, everybody's fucking racist. Like, what are you talking about? If you can't admit that you're racist, then you're just fucking retarded. You're fucking retarded. If you walk into a gas station in the middle of nowhere and a group of black dudes in black hoodies walk in, you're probably gonna be a little bit nervous. And there might not be anything wrong with these guys. I probably wouldn't be nervous, but I used to work with a lot of people that were a little thuggish, if you know what I mean, and they totally weren't. Maybe I'm incorrect in that stance. Maybe that'll end up getting me shot at a gas station or robbed or something, but haven't been yet.
No, she did. And the truth is, race is what? Explain? Sure. I think that a lot of people on these communities do hate white people. Straight up.
Yeah.
They have resentment towards white people. They don't like them.
Especially white people.
And I think the fact that Cutie said that whenever she is a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, I think that did rub them the wrong way. And I think that Ray realizing that is true. I think it's the same reason why whenever Vivek Ramaswamy went out and said that we live in a culture that glamorizes...
But you also have to keep in mind that she is dating Hassan, and also she is one of those anti-racist people who talk about privilege and accepting trans people and all this pandering woke ideology bullshit. Which, by the way, I also accept trans people. I allow trans people in my community. I just don't like the trans ideology, and I don't like people who defend it. So miss me with that shit, man.
As football heroes or football captains rather than math champions, and that's not good for the national culture long term. I think that the main reason why people are mad at him saying that is because he's a fucking Indian. That's the reason why. Is because I bet if a white guy had said that, I bet it would have been received totally differently.
So let's get back to talking about some gaming stuff again. I'm tired of all the drama slop that's all over the internet. For now, I'll probably get back into it tomorrow. But for now, I want to get back into the gaming news. Let me pull my box back up to where it was. There we go. The Gooner game argument from Angelica Tosh. I love this chick's videos. She's awesome. I like the way her face looks and her whole look. She looks like she's from a fantasy realm. And I love it. Let's go.
When it comes to recent and modern discourse surrounding video games, especially newer ones, the focus is often shifted to depictions of women in games. How female characters are designed, and what has changed now when we compare them to designs from older games. If you are at all aware of conversations like these,
older games used to be way more diverse. Now they all have the same ideas of what women should look like in games, and it's either try and make them look slightly masculine and ugly because real life women look like that, which we aren't playing things for real life. This is fake stuff. Video games aren't real. They don't need to be, and I don't want them to be close to real life. I do not care. I want good looking characters, good stories. I want everything to be good. Like the best that it can be. When you make an ugly character, then your character's not the best that it could be. But I also, at the same time, don't want a bunch of titties in my face in every single game that I play.
in online spaces like...
Dude, we used to be so diverse with the characters. What happened? When we started forcing diversity, it made everything the fucking same.
Twitter or YouTube, then you know that this is a conversation that gets very heated very fast. I have weighed in on this topic myself several times, and this is something that I like discussing and giving my opinion on because I feel like not enough women in this space feel like they can be honest. And the reason for that is exactly what I just mentioned. The conversation gets heated very fast, all sorts of labels and mean words get thrown around. It's not really something that most people want to deal with, understandably. Lucky for you guys, I don't really care, so I'm gonna say it anyway. One of these stupid...
Yeah, fuck 'em.
And most hollow arguments that you will hear when you bring up the fact that there has been a very obvious change in how women are depicted in video games is that you are wrong for criticizing it and you just want female characters to fit into your hyper-femme fantasy of fuckability. This is a real comment that I got, by the way, on my World of Warcraft video where I talk about how Liadrin does not look like a blood elf, or how she doesn't really fit that specific, already well-established look that we've...
That is a dude. That's a dude. They're trying to make a feminine dude.
Grown accustomed to for years.
And that's
One
it.
thing that is said to me...
It's like they're trying to They're trying to sex mix.
Me over and over again whenever I bring this up is that I just want to pander to gooners, and that unless video game characters look like porn stars, they're apparently not good enough for me. I find it so hypocritical and ironic that the people that accuse me of these sorts of things are the ones that are bringing this conversation into some very vulgar and sexual places. It is incredibly harmful to—
Yeah, because they can't focus on anything except sex and being sexualized.
to equate femininity to a term like fuckability. It's weird, and it suggests that presenting as more feminine is this thing that
Dude, exactly.
solely revolves around being more attractive to men, and that it cannot just be a thing where women express themselves in this way for the sake of expressing themselves in this way. I've already said this in my Why I Only Play Old Games video, where it's—
Yeah, I also only play old games. Very rarely do I pick up a new game. I will be playing Resident Evil 9 because I play every single Resident Evil, and I get them usually around the time they come out. Guess what? Main character's female, and I fucking love it. And she's just a normal female.
starting to feel a lot like femininity, and the term in itself, especially in gaming, is becoming this like inherently evil, vulgar thing. With comments like this, my point is proven. For some reason, calling for more feminine characters that aren't big, strong, muscular girl bosses or haven't had their appearance visibly toned down from their real-life models is seen as equal to asking for something—
Why didn't they use her face? I don't get it. Why? What the fuck? Who does this?
something really offensive and crass. Demonizing people for speaking about it is wrong. Pretending that being more drawn to conventionally attractive characters is anything but human nature is also wrong. And I do think that there are definitely things that can be unhelpful in this discussion, like that one meme that somebody made with the character from Ghost of Yotai, where they added the really exaggerated chest and said, "This is made for gamers." But I see that and I don't personally take this seriously. I actually think that this is more than likely satire. It's a sort of a rage bait that people seem to fall for every time. I just know that Reddit had a field day with that one. Now, first of all, conventionally attractive does not necessarily mean sexy, but on the topic of sexy game characters, I did do a video about this very topic a while back. How do women really feel about them in games? So this is something that I actually talked to my mom about as well, but also just based on the comment section from that video, the thing that I've gathered is that what we really want are options. We want the option to be able to run around in a chainmail bikini or go full coverage plate armor, epic medieval knight style.
I'll even accept something thicker than that. I'll take a thicker suit of armor. I will accept characters like Ellie from Borderlands. Like they don't all have to be this over-the-top beauty. But whenever they're all Ellie from Borderlands, then it fucks everything up.
No, this is true even if you look at the sort of transmogs that girls do for their World of Warcraft characters. And I think that's super fair. And you know what game had options? The original Oblivion. Remember my video on censorship?
And let me tell you, every single character in Oblivion was fucking ugly.
In the Oblivion remaster, where I showed the changes in clothing and armor that were made—
Dude, I immediately refunded Oblivion because it was just so different from the original, and it was less good than the original to me, so I just refunded it and went back and played the original Oblivion.
To appear less feminine on the female body. The part about them making chests smaller, taking away the things from female bodies that we literally cannot help having in favor of that more androgynous look. One comment that I got on that video was that it's good that they got rid of that stuff, especially the boob armor, because that didn't exist in real life and that doesn't make any—
Bro, none of this existed in real life. It's a fucking fantasy game in a fantasy world that doesn't even exist.
sense. And you know what? That's a valid conversation to sit down and have, especially if you're going for a game with more historical accuracy in terms of things like armor, and that is something that I can totally get behind. But in taking certain options away, you do just that. You take away options. You see, in the original Oblivion, not every armor set changed on female characters. The steel armor set, for example, was the exact same on both genders. But if you really wanted that weird fantasy game look for female characters with the boob armor, you could have it as well. Sure, it's not practical, but none of this is real anyway, and if we start talking
True.
about practical, how about we don't mention the glass armor and how that would fare in the real world? But the armor change, along with all of the obvious changes to make chests smaller and less apparent, or covered completely, told me everything that I needed to know. It sends the message that the female body is this bad thing that we should cover up. We shouldn't bring any attention to it, and the only valid female characters are the ones that are fully covered and look like they could take down any man with their bare hands. And look, there are times when that sort of thing can be really cool. I love a Brienne of Tarth moment. I think that she's such a cool character. No, she wasn't traditionally feminine, and yes, she was physically way stronger than the average woman and man. But there—
Yeah, and that's okay. Whenever that's a few and far between character. Because sometimes it be like that, man. But whenever it's every character, like, we want some diversity. What are they doing when they're pushing diversity and then they make every fucking character the same? That's not diversity. That's pandering. Fake diversity.
There was a story to tell there. She was an interesting character who had this alternative take on femininity. And I didn't feel like she was that way just because. There was so much meaning there. But when every single character is made to be a sort of Brienne of Tarth, it loses its meaning. It stops being interesting and special. It gets boring. At that point, it does feel like it's being done specifically to send some kind of message. It's actually insanely ironic.
It is. And it's the same message over and over again. It's cool if it's just a few times they mention that message in some games and culture, even a few times a year. But it's every single fucking one.
How conservative the standards have gotten when it comes to female game characters, especially in things like the Oblivion remaster, for which, funny enough, I got called a conservative for pointing it out. But people were praising the changes made in—
Because everybody's politically brain rotted. Bro, I'm not even into politics. I fucking hate politics. I am an anarchist. Fuck all the politics. And just because I say that, people make it political. Like, get the fuck out of here.
The remaster, as if the original Oblivion was somehow this hypersexual game with
the only thing that I believe in politics is that everything in the culture should be like it was in the 2000s and previous to that. Prior to that, whatever.
Out of focus on the female body, a gooner game, if you will. But it wasn't. For me pointing out that there was nothing wrong with this, I got labeled all sorts of things. And honestly, real talk—
Yeah, fuck your labels, man.
if you have a problem with this, then I don't see you as any different than the bottom feeders from over at 4chan who come into my comment section and say things like I'm prostituting myself for views when I wear a lower cut top in the video. You guys are two sides of the same coin. In trying to tone down female characters and then having visceral reactions when a studio makes a character in a more revealing outfit, what we're actually ending up with are easily forgettable and generally bland designs for female characters. It's kind of like studios are afraid to make more appealing female characters. Again, easily forgettable, not a lot of effort put into their design. But even going away from like the revealing outfits conversation, I don't think that an appealing—
Yeah, they don't all have to be. I love these characters. I love them so much. BioShock Infinite, people hated it whenever it came out, but I actually enjoyed that game quite a bit. Definitely wasn't as good as BioShock 1 and 2, but it was an enjoyable experience. And I love that they had more of like some actual characters in there to interact with, and it had an interesting story. Wasn't just the same rehashed story.
Female character
or no
needs
story.
to have a super revealing outfit. A character that I always bring up in these conversations is Jade from Beyond Good and Evil. She definitely has a more alternative take on femininity. She's more of
I still have not played this game, and I probably should.
a tomboy, shorter hair, unconventional color lipstick, but she sticks with you. You remember her. It's a character that's appealing not because she's this really sexy, hyper-feminine being, but she clearly is a female character that was designed by a person who has a positive attitude towards women. And that really shines through. She is strong in ways that don't necessarily mean that she has to be super jacked and she can wield a warhammer, but she—
This looks really fucking good. I love graphics like this. I wish we could get more games with graphics like this, or even the 360. I'm just tired of all of the boosted graphics, real-life graphics, better than real life, using the Unreal Engine.
she's smart, and that's part of gameplay. You are encouraged to find ways other than physical fighting to progress, and she does a really good job with all of that. I've kind of gone from making female characters less sexualized to making them super bland. More and more I find that female characters are turning into background character number 4. And it is in part because we're on this—
We got body type A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
really weird crusade against these elusive gooners that seem to be ruining everything. I don't know why I should care that somebody, God forbid, is attracted to one of my favorite female characters. Like, that's none of my business, really. It doesn't affect me that somebody's over there, like, drooling over a particular character. But I'm enjoying it because games are meant to be fun. Part of the fun are appealing game characters, because then you have cosplayers.
Yeah, I don't mind when characters in games look like this, but if you gotta create a character, I'm probably gonna make the character look more like this, because I don't care, but I also don't care if the character is forced to look like this. Like, it means nothing to me. But I don't want dude characters.
Take on the character and show their interpretation of it.
Okay, I like dude characters. I don't want dude characters whenever it's supposed to be a female.
Cosplay is such a great thing in my opinion because it really is open to everybody, no matter your race, no matter what shape or size you are, no matter what your background is. I remember seeing this TikTok from a plus size creator who was cosplaying a character from the anime One Piece. Don't quote me on that because I haven't watched One Piece, but I believe she was cosplaying Boa Hancock. Somebody in her comments said, well, actually, you look more like this character and you probably should have done this cosplay instead. Again, I don't watch anime, I haven't watched One Piece, so I'm not sure exactly who they were referring to.
Me neither.
But I know that the character that they brought up is fat. The creator responded by saying,
I love anime, but I don't know anything about One Piece.
just because I'm plus sized does not mean I always have to cosplay fat characters. And yeah, she is 100% right, because that's not what cosplay is. This idea that attractive characters are somehow harmful and they're not for everybody is absurd. Deep down, all of us want to look good. For me, like, that's part of the appeal of cosplay, getting a character who's really attractive, dressing up as this character, and seeing myself in that character. Appealing game characters inspire people, no matter what they look like or who they are, to come up with something, their own interpretation of said character. This whole thing of not appealing to someone's fantasy or the male fantasy in the long run is actually perpetuating an unhealthy attitude towards women. Not allowed to have attractive characters because the gooners might like them. Blaming attractive female characters because men are attracted to them. Just think about that for 1 second. At the end of the day, there is a conversation to be had here, absolutely, but the gooner game argument is unproductive,
Yeah, I just want good games. I just want good games, good characters. I don't even care, man. You make the games however you want, but if it's not good, then I'm not gonna play it. That's just how it is.
Intelligent, and it does way more harm than good. There is this idea that women somehow cannot have this opinion that I'm expressing in this video, and that if we say these things, we're just pandering to somebody. Because how could I possibly form this original opinion without your permission? Video games are art, video game characters are art. It's also valid to criticize the art for very obviously approaching female character design with this caution against the gooners that in actual fact is creating a hostile attitude towards femininity. Whatever side of this argument you're on, you are entitled to your own opinion, you don't have to agree with me. One thing that I will stand very firmly on is that equating femininity, just the simple concept of femininity without sexual attraction, without all of that, equating it to something really vulgar and using terms like fuckability and gooner game, especially when you're shown examples of something.
In my opinion, if you're worried about gooners liking a character, you're gooner brained too. You're just as gooner brained. You just feel bad about it. That's it.
Really tame and just like elements that women really cannot help having. When you use such harsh language to describe all of that, you are part of the problem. That's my take on the situation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe.
Like, when I play games, I don't want to see Jane from Dollar General as the main character or as the main side character, you know, the protagonist's buddy. I don't want that. And sure, we can have Jane from Dollar General in the games, just not in every fucking game, dude. But they're not in my games because I don't really play modern AAA slop. Most of the games that I play, even if they're like modern games, the modern games that I play either are like Resident Evil or it's something like Forgive Me Father 2, where it just looks retro and doomy, and like it was like the modern rendition of a 90s game with the pixelated graphics and everything. I want more of those games, actually. I want a game that's like a modern version of Daggerfall with updated Daggerfall graphics, but still that retro look. That'd be perfect, man. Perfect. Everything that I want to happen is kind of happening right now. The EU wants to kill microtransactions. Corporate gaming is furious, of course. Dude, why has it got to be Europe that's got to be the first ones to get rid of this shit. I'm so glad this is finally happening, and I'm glad it's catching on more and more. I've been talking about it for years. I knew this was going to be a problem as soon as we started seeing free-to-play games with microtransactions, because they were making so much money. And I called it. A bunch of people called it. That it was going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And we said, as soon as it was in the free-to-play games, that it was going to start being in the non-free-to-play multiplayer games. And then we were like, well, it's making a lot of money. It's definitely going to be in the single-player games. And then look where we are now.
Well, the EU are up to regulatory shenanigans again. The question is, will this be good for us or will it be bad for us? And with that in mind, here's a quote. Let's not kill one of Europe's few tech success stories. That was a rather damning statement given by the CEO of Supercell, and its latest shot in a war that has been silently raging since April, because that's when the EU unveiled new guidelines for microtransactions in gaming. And now...
Let's get rid of all of them completely. I don't want them. I think that small DLC packs and large DLC packs is as far as we should push it, and it should be very, very limited.
After a summer of adjustment, the industry is speaking...
Not limited by amount, but limited by amount during a certain time period.
...out. Now, obviously, in one way, that's all kind of hilarious, and we do sort of think, yeah, you've rammed our games full of this bullshit, a lot of it has felt fairly manipulative, it's probably good that someone is getting involved. In big picture, that is what I think. That being said, a lot of people in the industry are saying that this will ruin everything that they've built. I mean, just look at what the Supercell dude said.
Dude, everything that you built is garbage.
Basically,
fuck
according
Supercell.
to a lot of them, they say these regulations would worsen the player experience and also wouldn't...
Make better games. Make better games. That's all I gotta say. If you can't have a better game without spending so much money, which they're not, they're making so much money on the Clash of Clans that, like, they're not putting that money back in the Clash of Clans, they're just raking in profit.
Prove protections. And that certainly is a bit that I'm at least interested in. They also say that this would cause widespread collateral damage to one of EU's biggest tech success stories. So here's the thing.
The tech industry is too big. Fuck them.
He's not entirely wrong. He's not entirely right. There's definitely stuff for us to talk about, and this one's going to be a goddamn trip.
And I get this all can be a lot. We've got tariff and trade negotiations affecting everything from Switch 2 pricing to gaming privacy laws, and that means you need a full picture. And that's where ground news...
That just means that everything's coming around to where I want it to be. We're gonna skip ground news. I don't give a fuck about ground news.
Swedish horse girl game. Yeah, so here we are. Let's get into the story.
I remember this
The
one.
autumn legislative sessions are starting, and we're right at the end of the consultation period for the Digital Fairness Act. So, would you like some fairness in digital format? Maybe this act is for you. Now, what it is an overarching EU legislative agenda that covers loads of tech fields and where they intersect with consumer protections. Now, for our purposes, it includes features like deceptive interface design where, well, there's all sorts of shady shit that they do. Manipulative elements, addictive elements, and unfair personalization practices.
So, are they getting rid of the microtransactions, or are they cleaning them up so they're not manipulative and deceptive? Because I'll take that too. I mean, at least I'll take that.
I think, oh, I love things to be personalized. Less so whenever a game is trying to exploit you really wanting that next upgrade and is giving you a targeted deal that probably has 900% value or some made-up bullshit like that.
Yeah, and I hate whenever they've got these elements in games where it's like, oh, you pay for this item, pay for that item. Oh, you can get it randomly. You can get the coin so you can get this item. You better get that battle pass. And all of this stuff was stuff that would have been in the game before microtransactions were a thing. And they just removed them and charged you extra for it.
Now, it's especially concerned where it hits consumer vulnerabilities and where people can be exploited. Now, you may remember our coverage...
Which, by the way, doesn't work whenever people don't have money. If people don't have money, they're not buying the shit. And if they're not buying the shit and you're shoving it in their face, then they're just gonna be... They're gonna be put off by it, and they're gonna go somewhere else.
From back in April, where we got to talk about the Swedish horse girl game. So that's when the EU took on microtransactions, and what happened is that the Consumer Protection Cooperation Network, rolls off the tongue, laid out some new key principles. And this all came as a part of a case made against the Swedish mobile game Star Stables. Now, what we're talking about today, the Digital Fairness Act and its consultation period, it is building on those principles from the whole horse game saga. Now, what that means is new systems requiring real monetary value on listings, not just, made up gem bullshit. Removing multiple currency options, ensuring refunds are available. Imagine that, a refund on a gem. Crazy stuff. And also ending a lot of the FOMO practices. And especially because these things were often targeted toward kids.
Yeah, the FOMO stuff, whenever they're like, oh, don't miss this deal. Oh, the battle pass is about to end. That puts me off immediately where I don't want to play it. I'm completely out on all that bullshit. Which now I'm completely out on all microtransactions. I don't even play games that have microtransactions anymore. At all. Fuck them.
Also, they would apply to everyone because games would need to implement them across the board. Now, at the time, the industry was obviously not really thrilled. They love making money from all of the things that I just listed that feel sketchy. And they framed these as new legal theories, as a disruption that could see games pulled from the EU if those games couldn't comply. Think about the poor monetization designers, guys. But where things left off is that the CPC was supposed to work with them, work with the industry to help implement everything. But 6 months later, the industry mood has not improved, and they are quite worried.
Good.
That open letter from the Supercell CEO, and by the way,
I think they should be worried.
Supercell are the Clash of Clans people, so some top-tier creative gaming content. That's just one of several press efforts that we've seen in recent weeks. But it's the most striking one from a senior figure. Basically, he says that he doesn't want the EU's 27 billion euro industry harmed by the DFA or the guidelines that came in March of this year. And he argues that they will, quote, break how many games fundamentally work.
That doesn't bother me at all. If they're garbage, I don't want games to be destroyed. I don't. Hashtag stop killing games. But, what do we do at this point? Do we keep letting everything get worse? Just so we can have all the games? No, I don't mind shutting these games down. Somebody will end up making a better version if there's that hole to be filled.
They will harm the player experience, and especially will do this for free-to-play games. He uses a familiar metaphor for how in-game currency works.
I honestly don't think there should be free-to-play games. I think we need to get rid of that shit.
But it's one that was okay per the legal framework before the new guidelines in April. And basically he talked about theme park tokens. The idea that a family can buy tokens in bulk, or they can buy tokens individually, or they can even win tokens in a theme park. And to him...
This isn't a theme park, though. It's a fucking video game.
This is all framed as, quote, convenient and fun, avoiding...
And by the way, theme parks are garbage too, and they've always been garbage, and we've always known this.
Repeated cash transactions. The idea you can buy loads of tokens at once. And he then contrasts this with the potential worst case under the new guidelines, where individual parental approval for each token used, including signed contract agreements, regardless of purchase value and all of that, would basically harm the experience. Basically, he's saying that regardless of purchase value, rides must...
There are similarities between free-to-play games and theme parks, but they're not the same.
Must display a real cost in euros based on a fixed standard, not, a token cost. Now, when children win prizes, they believe that those prizes are worth real money, despite obviously not being able to cash out. In his analogy, the visitors get frustrated and leave. Why? Well, because the experience isn't simpler or safer than what exists now. So, why change the token system? Well, his argument, he believes the existing frameworks can just be strengthened. Improve what we've got. Don't do a big new scary thing. Now, we will come back to how Supercell responds to those existing laws later on in this video. But going on, he suggests these new policies could result in companies choosing other monetization models. Things like more in-game advertising. And this feeling has actually got a lot of backing. Multiple large European game developers sent a letter to the EU. And I have to say, a massive thank you to one of our members, Neo Nebulosa, for helping us navigate the fun industrial nuances of the continent. Because for real, this shit's complicated. Now, what happened is that Euractiv saw the letter, and then industry-wide bodies like the European Game Developer Federation also got involved. And they're all very worried, and this is based on legal interpretations of current proposals and what they would mean for them, and of course also what they would mean for you. Let's go to the heart of the issue. This fundamentally comes down to a fairly simple question, but it's one with significant legal ramifications, and it's this. Is in-game currency the same as real currency? Because if it's treated as such, as, quote, digital representations of value, then the companies trading in them face significantly more scrutiny. And if you're thinking about, say, I don't know, banking, crypto, and other things, yeah, you're kind of thinking along the right lines. Because effectively, they would then be a little bit more like Bitcoin under the law. And to be clear, that is the position of the CPC. And therefore, it's inherent to the current consultation.
I think that all games with microtransactions in them should be labeled as adults only, for one. I don't think that you should allow free-to-play games, and I think you should not allow these just endless microtransactions that don't really add anything to the game, except for to make you have a sense of accomplishment from buying in-game items that should have been free in the game, built into the game in the fucking first place.
For the Digital Fairness Act, which is the big thing that would really change a lot. Now, the fundamental argument is that people are putting real money into these systems, and they are getting in return for their real money a digital representation of that money in the form of products, like, say, your gems or your Call of Duty points, whatever it may be. So, because of that, they should therefore have transparency and safety when they are spending. Now, those are good, noble goals, but implementation could be a little tricky, and it would mean some humongous changes. Now, we can't just dismiss those things because we like the principles behind the changes, and for the avoidance of doubt, we here are very much behind those principles. And what the industry is putting forward really are based on worst case scenarios. But that doesn't mean that they won't happen, and we should talk about it because it would impact the industry. Now, they already don't trust the EU elements implementing all of this, as flagged by George Osborne, all that one, in his
Yeah, and problems like this, like where the governments are stupid, the corporations are stupid, they all want your money. They all want terrible things to happen to you as long as you know, step in line and follow their narrative. That's why I'm out. That's why I'm out on all this. But maybe I'm just waiting for the day. That's why I keep up with all of this stuff. I am waiting for the day that culture starts turning around and I can get back into buying the new games and back into the new gaming culture. Right now, I feel like most of the gaming culture has shifted to retro games, indie games, and some rare AAA games here and there. And we're getting a lot more AA games that are coming out of the woodworks and just blowing all the AAA games out of the water and absolutely embarrassing them.
Excellent video games industry memo newsletter back in April, his sources suggested to him something rather troubling, that before the new guidelines, the CPC did not engage with industry trade bodies, let alone get impact assessments. I know, impact assessments, it's real sexy stuff, but then again, we are dealing with, billions of euro and how the industry literally works. Now, that's part of why these bodies are emphasizing certain facts. Things like, only 18% of kids are allowed to make purchases, that 95% get parental supervision, and that monthly spending has actually gone down year on year, which is at least a silver lining if you're not a fan of microtransactions. But basically...
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about any of the statistics. What I care about is good games. And I think that microtransactions make games worse, so I don't want them.
The industry is putting forward that they see all of this stuff as using a sledgehammer to crack a nut, and basically that's why they've been so frustrated. Now, the CPC suggested that they would work with the industry after they did their big publication, and without direct leaks, we don't literally know what those discussions looked like over the summer, but based on current reactions, they did not go well. But more than that, apparently, the CPC also didn't work with other EU bodies. Yes, this is really getting all quite complex. People may wonder why, I don't know, nothing ever gets done. Anyway, what it effectively means, the point the industry is trying to get across, right, is that this one group tried to set a new central philosophy in microtransactions, but they kind of did that without getting everyone else involved in the situation involved in what that would look like, which can get messy. And for an example of said mess, we've got to say a big thanks to this pack of Lithuanian RuneScape gold farmers. To put a very
yeah, we're gonna spend all this time and effort and money just to make something not allowed with microtransactions and not ban microtransactions, and then the corporations are just gonna find another way around it. And that's what we've been doing ever since they've really been implemented. It's like a cat and mouse game. Like, oh, you can't do this. And they're like, fine, we'll do this other shitty practice. We'll do this new thing that we have discovered we could do. We found a new way we can milk customers. Good luck, governmental bodies. It's going to take you years and years to figure that one out. And by the time they do that, they've already figured out a new way to make money.
Situation in very simple terms. In Lithuania, currency transfers are tax exempt. So because of this, the gold farmers thought that they would not have to pay value-added tax. But the Revenue Office disagreed. The Revenue Office believed that the gold farmers weren't trading a currency whenever they were doing their trades. So yeah, they were like trading a product, and that would mean that they would need to get their value-added tax. Now, they need clarity on the law here.
It's all about the taxes. If the government finds some way that they could get some tax money and they're not getting tax money, you're damn right they're gonna make it taxable.
So what they did is they went to the EU, and they went to a specific bit called the EU Advocate General. And the result of that was a ruling by the EU Advocate General, and that is that in-game currency should be considered as a digital second-hand product, not as a currency in itself. Now, that's actually quite fun for today's story, because that's actually not how the guidelines from the CPC frame them. Same goes for the Digital Fairness Act proposals as well. And that just makes everything here so much messier, because different bits of the EU, different arms of it, are taking different opinions. Obviously, that makes it very hard to get anything goddamn done. And that's part of why the company seems so pissed off here. To them, the CPC wants compliance with their guidelines.
Yeah, be pissed off, be confused. I want to keep rolling with this energy, actually. I kind of agree with how messy bureaucracy can be sometimes, because it makes it worse for these corporations.
Even as another EU judiciary is suggesting another interpretation. So they're, in a way, saying, oh no, look at us, we're caught in the middle, this is a nightmare, what do we do? And honestly, in that case,
remove the microtransactions. That's the only thing that you can do to make everything simple again. Make smaller games, make games that aren't real life, stop cutting corners, stop being cheap, corporate fucking slop, spending $400 million on a game that looks like all the rest of them, and you're still using all the same tools. Why does it cost so much? Because it's bloated. And then you don't have to work on the microtransactions. You don't have to hire people for that. And just make a game that's the size of the 360 games. They can look a little bit better. I won't mind that. But like, man, we are bloating games to the max. There's so much to do in a lot of these open world games. And the story ends up being shit and boring anyway. So like, why not just focus on the story and make it fucking smaller? I don't get it. Make it stylized instead of looking better than real life.
Yeah, they do have a point. It's like different arms of the same body are saying different things about basically the same issue. That's obviously chaos. Chaos that could get worse with the Digital Fairness Act being implemented next year. And that would mean that, well, everything that they work on, these companies that is, may now need to be changed again to comply with the new requirements, which would be a good thing going solely off the
Yeah, they wouldn't have to keep complying with all the new requirements if they just made games like they used to.
Principles, what we're trying to protect to make better.
I'm fine with it. We can keep doing this. We can keep doing this forever. Doesn't change how I play games.
here, but you know, implementation is often the hard bit, and that is why the companies are very much worried. Oh boy, we're getting there. And one thing you may have noticed in this video is it might all sound a little bit schizo. I mean, here I am in 1 second being very much, oh, look at the things the Swedish Horse Girl game was doing. That's all pretty sketchy. Let's regulate some of this stuff so that, you know, we don't have exploitative bullshit happening that's, you know, aimed at teens and stuff. And then you'll also see me, well, talking about the industry's points. And to understand this story, I think we've just...
What I gotta say is, fuck the industry.
Got to accept a very basic fact. Everyone involved is going to present their argument in the best light that they can. The CPC will. The people at Supercell will. I will. You will. We'll pretty much always be trying to put our argument forward in the best way. And the upshot of that is everyone involved, from their perspective, will play up the risk and then downplay anything that will undermine them. And even if we return to the Supercell dude's letter, you can start to pick holes in some of the logic that he puts forward. If you're going to update his analogy to actually be accurate to the real industry, well, then his theme parks would be having 3 or 4 or 5 different types of tokens. Just look at, you know, what you see when you open a gacha game and you're just bombarded. And to undermine his points even more, he tries to talk about how, oh, you can win one of the tokens as a prize. Yeah, but in so many of these games, the only thing you can win as a prize is, like, you know, just for participating in something, is the lowest value of token. But then you can only...
Yeah, it's like to get you on board with having that system and using that system, and you'd be like, man, I've got so little. I could just buy the 99-cent package, just to get a little more, or the $5 package, or actually it's the $4.99 package, because they're never going to sell it to you for $5.
Buy some tokens in massive bundles that don't match the price of the product you're trying to buy, none of which is a good consumer experience, as much as this just web of absolute goddamn insanity does make these companies a hell of a lot of money.
And there's so many microtransactions. There's so many things. There's too many things.
And when he talks about wanting to make existing legislation stronger, well, yeah, Supercell would know all that they need to know about that, because they've been accused of being non-compliant with UK loot box regulations. You know, clearly self-regulation and current legislation are not working for everyone. That's why we need these changes in the first place. But it is also true that he does have a bit of a point. These bodies should probably have a talk with the industry reps to implement changes in a way that won't have unintended negative impacts. And we have seen many examples.
I don't even care about the negative impacts on it's not, once again, it's not affecting any of the games that I'm playing right now. And if it creates better games who don't have to deal with all this shit in the future because they just completely get rid of it, they get rid of all the things that's going to cause problems with the government, then I'm fucking fine with that, man.
Examples of that. As an example, GDPR, you having more control over your data, all that privacy stuff, that's pretty great. But it's really annoying having that pop up every time you go to a website and you got to install an extension to deal with the annoying thing. Yeah, that does kind of suck. I mean, I get the point, I agree with the principle, but the implementation clearly isn't really that great. And where it risks getting worse is that today we've been talking about the concerns from big trade bodies and companies like Supercell. And here's the thing with those groups, they've got money. They can afford to be compliant with new laws, like, say, all the stuff that's been going on with...
Well, they don't have all of the money.
The UK's Online Safety Act and similar laws around the world. The incumbents can fork up the cash to be compliant. They can do that. Hell, if the compliance is a real nightmare, then maybe you can be an entrepreneur and sell the solution. But the smaller teams, the people who are just on the cusp of being sustainable fiscally, well, they'll be hurt more.
Yeah, don't put microtransactions in your games, especially if you're a small company. Like, just make a good game.
The worst case scenario is something that looks more like regulatory capture, that perhaps looks like the incumbents adapting to the regulation, but then the regulation being so onerous that new companies basically can't really get started up. That can be really bad. But to cut through all that fluff, something needs to happen. And the reason why is simple. A reckoning is coming, and
I keep saying, dude, it's gonna get bad out there, and I can't wait to react to all this shit, man. And if you're a small company, just do all of the things that you want to do, but you see all the bad things that the big companies are doing, don't do those things. If you don't do those things, people will love you for it. And you never know, man. You might go under the radar. People might not enjoy your thing for like a week, a month, a year, even 10 years. Just put it out there. And eventually, maybe, somebody will find it. And it'll explode.
We are very much on the clock. Here's the deal. The Digital Fairness Act is expected to be delivered in the next year or so. And what's happening right now is the ending of the consultation period for the virtual currency stuff.
Dude, it finally, a bunch of this stuff, there's things being done about it. How long has it been, man? How long has it been? Basically since the Xbox One is how long they've just really been pushing microtransactions. And I think PUBG is where this really all started. PUBG and Fortnite.
And clearly, after 12 weeks of consultation, well, these companies have been reacting in this way to make a point that they don't want the Digital Fairness Act legislators to treat them the way that the CPC allegedly treated them with all of that Swedish horse girl stuff. They basically want a chance to make sure that their voices are heard. And you know what? That is their right. They are literally entities contributing to the economy within the EU. So yeah, they should have a seat at that table. I want them to be listened to and respected, but also treated with the skepticism that is due, because they are very much not unbiased here. And just as these companies need to turn a profit, they also need to do so in a way that is not predatory toward the public. And ultimately, it's that last bit that's where I land. You can see enough horror stories of this stuff going bad, or even just the simple, basic goddamn thing.
Yeah, just stop playing those games, man. Please, for the love of God. If you are playing those games, then you kind of deserve to have all of the shit games, because you're missing out on great stuff. I know a lot of people that, like, they love games. They call themselves a gamer, but all they play are, like, fucking free-to-play trash mobile games. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? You could even play good games on your phone that aren't the trash free-to-play games. I don't know what it is, man. It's all of the addictive things that they put in these games to get you to spend money as a free-to-play game. And if you're going to spend money anyway, buy something that's not going to be like predatory on your monkey brain who just wants to spend money on shiny things that aren't real.
You look at your phone, there's a social media app that's just trying to play around with your brain chemistry to get you hooked. You open a video game, and now it's doing the same thing. There's all this predatory bullshit everywhere. I don't know about you, but I've had enough. And the profit of these businesses is, yes, relevant to them, the shareholders.
But how are we going to make money if we don't get people addicted and people want to spend money on our games because they're flashy? Like, how do we make money if we can't do that? Well, too fucking bad. Man, people are mad at this. I got people in my comments that are mad that the White House and GameStop kind of had a back and forth where they were posting Master Chief Trump memes. It's great. It's so good. I love where the culture is landing, and people are just like, these are the same people that were saying get politics out of our games. This isn't in a game. This does not exist in a Halo game. This is just a meme. Like, these people's brains are broken. What the fuck are you talking about? Apparently Angry Joe crashed out about this too, and like, all right, what are you doing?
What even is this timeline? The White House has posted Donald Trump as Master Chief in front of the White House, saluting the American flag.
You got somebody that's like 30 to 40 probably working over there at the White House, but I know where the current culture is online, and I know what I must do. Trump as Master Chief, and it was absolutely fucking perfect. I don't even like politics. I'm actually anti-politics, but I can recognize when culture is shifting, and the freaks are not having it.
And you know what the haters said to this, among a slew of other horrific things? That's definitely AI. It only has 40 stars.
Yeah, no shit. No shit.
I'm like, thanks, bro. I for a second I thought this was real. I'm so glad that you let us know that this was AI. This was quote tweeting GameStop, which I covered previously.
Same.
In one of the most amazing posts I've seen from a retail store.
Dude, this made gaming history right here. This made history. This is going to be in history books.
The history of social media. A statement from GameStop. GameStop declares the console wars are over. Whereas for over the past 2 decades, the global gaming community has been engaged in an ongoing and increasingly petty conflict known as the console wars.
Which really, it kind of started with the Nintendo versus Sega stuff in the 90s. But whatever, man, it's just a joke.
Whereas said conflict originated in the early 2000s with the release of Halo Combat Evolved as an Xbox exclusive title.
This is where it started online. This is the online console wars.
Whereas Halo Campaign Evolved is officially coming to PlayStation in 2026 with cross-platform play. Therefore, GameStop, acting under the authority as a neutral entity and the world's retail gaming and trade-in destination, hereby declares the official cessation of the console wars.
They're not wrong, by the way. They are not wrong.
All claims to exclusivity are hereby dissolved. Console loyalists are instructed to cease hostilities, disband militias, and enjoy this new era of gaming.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy the change in culture and the downfall of a bunch of companies that I hate. Probably a bunch of new companies that I hate are gonna arise, and a bunch of old companies that I hate are probably gonna get bigger. But you know, I don't even care. And I'm seeing a rise in retro gaming. Indie gaming is getting better, and AA gaming is getting better. So I'm here for it. I'm actually here for this new era of gaming.
GameStop will continue to operate as a demilitarized zone, offering hardware, accessories, and trade-ins to combatants on all sides. Power to the players.
That is an epic sign-off, man.
That's amazing. I saw this come through.
And then power to the players from Donald Trump's The White House.
I'm like, this is definitely a fake account. There's no fucking way. Like,
right?
I know.
That's what I thought when people were sharing it, and then I was like, wait a minute. No, this is actually the White House account.
It's off the rails these days. This timeline is insane. But still, I'm like, even this I thought was a bridge too far to enter the gaming zone.
I love it.
It's really something. And the second I saw this, verified it was from the official White House, I was like, there's going to be a lot of people really upset online. There's a lot of lefty lunatics.
That's why it was done. And watching people crash out about it is fucking glorious.
That really don't like Trump and are trying so hard to win this Gamergate war. And this is Trump being like, I'm on your side, gamers.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, here we fucking go. It is so on. I live for this.
And this has nothing to do with Trump either. It's somebody else behind the scenes doing this, and they were like, I know how we're gonna piss off everybody online, especially with all the Halo controversy coming out. Like, they're on Twitter. These people are on Twitter. Like, Trump's White House, they're on Twitter. They see what's going on in the culture.
Here says, imagine seeing this on your TV, Trump walking forward.
I'm finishing this fight against the cartels. No more illegal dropships. Join me on the wall, Spartans.
All right.
And rapid response, posting it as well. Number 9, President Trump presides over the end of the 20-year console wars.
Online console wars, gotta specify. Because there was console wars going on before this.
Donald Trump, president, when it comes to an end. This is
official from Donald Trump. The console wars are over.
Door, if you're not familiar, official White House account, deputy assistant to the president. He says, get in. We're making America great again. Other images, GameStop quote tweeting back and forth, back and forth. There was this image, though, that pissed off certain people with the JD Vance meme in the background posted by GameStop replying to the White House. with the visor
I love it.
basically transparent,
Yep.
and you can see Donald Trump inside as Master Chief.
I wish GameStop was a better company, because this would be absolutely fucking fire, but the actual GameStop store is still garbage.
And people started losing their mind over this.
Love
because
it. Yep.
How dare?
Dude, they don't, the people who are losing their minds don't go to GameStop anyway. You know how I know? Because nobody goes to GameStop.
How dare Orange Man Bad use a video game in a social media post? How dare he? How dare? They're not supposed to have politics in gaming. I want to be very clear here because we're gonna get really further into this. This is a deep rabbit hole. I'm gonna try my best to give a TLDR in this video. I'm perfectly fine, and I always have been with politics.
This is not politics in gaming, by the way. Before he goes on, this is gaming in politics. This is the opposite of what they're talking about, because what they would do is put Kamala Harris in all the games. This is putting the games in Donald Trump. This is the opposite.
Politics touching games and using them as like, oh, this is funny, this is interesting.
We are really pushing that how do you like it energy without putting this kind of stuff actually in the game, because the point is to not have this stuff in the game. The point is to make memes.
Welcome to pop culture. No different than comic books, movies, books, like whatever the fuck anyone wants to do. Use it. Have fun with it. That's great. My issue is, and always will be, if it starts going into the game. I would have a serious issue if Donald Trump was a part of Halo. I'd be like, I don't love that. I don't. I really don't. I'm sure that's a controversial thing because people really love Donald Trump too in the gaming sphere. But I want my games.
Yeah, I would love to have even a Donald Trump character in a game. But like, if it's outright supposed to be Donald Trump and they put him in Halo, no. But if there is a new game, new IP that like it makes sense to have a Donald Trump-like character, I think you could have a Donald Trump-like character in Helldivers 2. That would make sense.
Free of that shit. When I'm playing my game, I don't want that. I don't. Unless it's going like for a like realism video game and they want that as part of the storyline, stuff like that. Obviously, Spartans and the aliens and stuff like that, it makes no fucking sense. But if you're making like a autobiography game or even a biographical game or whatever that has to do
like
with someone
Call of
in real
Duty.
life politically, maybe
have Trump mentioned kind of in a Call of Duty game. I'm not gonna be hurt by that.
I could maybe if it's a good game. I probably wouldn't play it. But my point being, when you're doing stuff like this, it's perfectly like I don't have any issues with it. If Biden was doing this, I'd be laughing my ass off. I'd be like, it's stupid as fuck. But I'd be laughing. I'd be like, hey, at least he's memeing. At least he's trying to have fun. I mean, they used the fucking JD Vance meme face as Cortana. This is fucking art.
Yeah, they know what they were doing. They can meme. The left can't meme.
This is art. This is amazing. This picture right here is going to go down in history. Like people will remember this shot. This is amazing. You know who didn't think it was amazing? Alyssa Mercante.
Yeah, let's go.
This is ass for so many reasons.
Dude, if you've got this take, if you're mad at this, like get the fuck out of here. If this happened from Donald Dump, if this happened from Joe Biden, we'd be laughing at it and be talking about how ridiculous it is. We wouldn't be sitting here like, this is the worst thing that I've ever seen. This does not need to be in video games. No, we'd be like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I can't believe that this is in the video game culture. That's the way the energy would be.
JD Vance meme is so discordant. Makes no sense as a joke, related or unrelated to Halo.
Stay mad, be mad. All I hear is crying from these people constantly.
It's just the Leo DiCaprio pointing bit. You recognize shapes ass joke. Oh my God. This, like, I get it now. This is why the left can't meme. Because when there's a really funny meme, they will find a reason to hate on it. Think about just the JD Vance meme by itself. That was something I believe created by the left, trying to get an own on the chuds and the right.
Yep. And we just took it and ran with it. That's what we do every time. We take their joke, their unfunny joke, and we use it against them and make it funny.
And people on the right were like, that's fucking funny. And they're like, no, you're supposed to hate it. We're making fun of him. And they're like, that's
that's like when they started calling the right wing chuds, and now the right wing just uses chuds as the word that they call themselves every single time.
funny though. And even JD Vance embraced it. And they're like, no, you're supposed to get mad at jokes. Then the clear visor. Half these people have aneurysms when there were pink Spartans.
No, we didn't. Like, maybe some people actually got angry, but I just made fun of them because that shit's fucking stupid and ridiculous, and I'm not gonna play that. And I was just like, yeah, here we go then. We're not gonna play it. Let's go. Fuck them.
In game? Oh. So what you're saying is when it affects the game itself, people take an issue with it? Weird. Almost like gamers want their games free of this shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But man, I gotta tell you, when I first saw this happening, I was like...
And I wasn't even mad about it. I was not even mad about it. I was laughing my ass off at how much I'm not going to be playing that game.
I can't wait for the reactions, and they did not disappoint. Daka, this guy's been crushing it lately. The beauty of fat baby JD Vance is that leftists have this false dichotomy that it upsets anyone, while everyone universally loves it.
It's good.
It's amazing. But we got to get into the people that didn't find it amazing, because there's a lot of reading. There's a lot. And it's not limited to gaming either. And by the way, what I'm going to converse about here, this is just scratching the surface. Social media was flooded with people that were just so mad across the board. It was glorious. Today was such an amazing day on social media. Jacksonville.
Dude, the past few days, it's been fucking awesome. Like, mostly because of the Mizkif Imaru situation. It sucks what happened to Imaru, but everything around it, I fucking love it, man. I love what's going on with the culture wars on the internet right now. It feels like everything's going insane.
Which, by the way, I guess it makes sense that he's a lefty cuckboy lunatic, but I find his videos enjoyable. I don't have any issues with his videos. He says, love the AI piss filter. Thank you for making this shit super easy to spot. Also, count the stars. Only 40 are shown. Also, fuck Trump and fuck ICE.
And fuck you for being political about it. Like, dude, come on. Like, be mad. Keep being mad. We're having a good time here. Like, it's not our fault that you just think everything is bad. Even the things that we think are bad, we make fun of them. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Which, I mean, I gotta be honest. The beginning of this, I'm like, oh, he's making a joke, a mockery of how this is obviously AI. But then I read the bottom and I'm like, is he serious? Does he think people are falling for this? That's real. I said, thank you for your analysis. I was worried that this was real and that Trump really was Master Chief before I saw this post. Jeremy was cooking today, by the way. D-Day Cobra. Keep crying, Lib.
Yeah,
Sean Boland, formerly Screw Attack, very woke Rooster Teeth, founder, owner of Game Attack. I wonder how well Stuttering Craig knows Sean. You know who loves this? The same dumb fucks who said to keep politics out of gaming.
Nobody was saying this. Everybody was saying keep politics out of my gaming culture and also keep politics out of my games. This is not politics in gaming culture. This is gaming in politics culture. Like, what the fuck? They cannot read the room, dude.
For the last 8 years. Guys, I'm here for the memes. I will always, if the memes are funny, I don't give a fuck what side of the aisle you're on. I really don't.
The problem is the left doesn't know how to meme.
The only difference is the left can't meme. So they get really mad when they try to make funny stuff, and it's just not funny. This is fucking hysterical. I'm loving this timeline. Late night gaming, HCS Worlds, which I've never heard of. YouTuber with 200,000 subs, which if you got to put that in your profile, I think that lets everyone know exactly who they're dealing with. What is it with this PDF administration and AI slop?
Well, already fucking brain cooked, dude.
It's like they think using AI to make Trump not look like an ugly slug will make us forget that he's a pedo that's tanking the U.S. economy, Lamau. If anything was tanking an economy, it was the previous administration. Have you not noticed prices since Biden have been going down? Wages staying about the same, maybe up a little bit. Stock market flying, all since Trump came into office. But don't worry, because they don't like him. Orange man bad, and apparently he's a pedo. But Joe Biden, didn't he get accused of showering with his daughter?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. Sniffing kids, you know, inappropriately touching them in public, not like you know what I mean. Like, bro, it's just so miss me with that shit. And you're only saying this kind of shit because you heard other people say it, and it's not even fucking true.
Or niece or something.
It was his daughter. It was his daughter.
And then they had to like close up the records on that. That was why did no one talk about that? That was pretty questionable. Here's some fries to go with your McMeltdown. It doesn't stop there, guys. There's like legitimate channels that I follow and like pay attention to with their takes in pop culture that are melting down.
Like Angry Joe. I watch Angry Joe a lot, and I already knew that he had TDS, but like, holy shit, I wish he would just stay out of it.
This is one that many people follow and know. This is Culture Crave. They have 735,000 followers having a melty melt. White House posts AI generated image of Donald Trump as Master Chief with the caption, "Power to the players." This comes after Trump's tariffs caused price jumps in Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, pricing out many players.
Bro, I was already priced out, so miss me with that shit. Go fuck yourself.
The U.S. flag is also missing 10 stars.
Okay.
My God.
Who cares?
Copass post. First, I mean, where do you even start with these people? No, Trump's tariffs are not and have been proven to not cause price jumps.
They just heard that because it was being reported by mainstream news, and that's the only take that they have, and they don't look into it further. They just know they saw posts about it.
This is misinformation because Xbox didn't even sell out their stock and they're raising their price. You only have to pay the tariffs on importing goods that are not already inside the US, which was proven to be false when the Xbox still had plenty of stock inside the US that they were not selling and raised the price anyways. So, miss me with the tariffs are causing it. The tariffs are causing it. There was so many. And there were other angles as well. This was Homeland Security finishing this fight. Destroy the flood. Join ICE.gov. Oh, shit. Today was such a libtard melty melt day. It was glorious. And guess who quoted this? Dare I say, friend?
Dude, I thought hard. I thought hard about joining ICE. I'm not gonna, but like I'm qualified. I totally could, man. And apparently they're giving a sign-on bonus. Ooh, that does sound enticing.
Of the channel and lead audio design. Designer of Halo, Marty O'Donnell, fucking legend, the composer, and he even did some of the humming of the hymn, the I had him on the channel, and he said that he was one of the people that was one of the voices doing the chanting.
That's
I was
badass.
like, that's you? He's like, yep. I was like, oh man, that was him. That was him. I should have him on the channel again. He was fucking awesome. He says, when I defeat Susie Lee next year and get to Congress, I will work with the Trump administration to destroy the flood once and for all.
It's so good. And I love how they're basically destroy the flood, join ICE, talking about people who are flooding into the country. But I see the flood more as all of the degenerate freaks who are mad about stuff like this. Then, you know, all of the people with the pronouns, with the flags, their bios, like, those are the real flood to me. Those are an extension. I think that the people who are coming over the border, they're like, I don't know. I don't know what to compare them to. I don't know what the individual flood characters are. I don't know what the individual enemies are called. But I think that the leftist woke freaks are the little squid tentacle things.
I'm fucking loving this timeline. This is what I live for. And this is Salty Cracker jumping on board saying, can you imagine how upset the ugly chicks at Bungie are? Oh, imagine being a libtard that worked on the original Halo and seeing this happen right now. Oh my god, I'd be like, no. I'd be so angry. You know who's really angry, guys?
Not us. This is fucking great.
Angry Joe. I know you're all surprised. Fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I can imagine him crashing out over this.
Using Halo for your shitty, dehumanizing police state propaganda. No one thinks your shit is cool besides low IQ mega cult members on X. Half of which are bots. Holy shit.
Dude, he's doing all of the talking points of the cult. I get called a bot all the time. Like it even bothers me. I don't fucking get it, dude. Like, do they think it's funny, or are they just trying to get a rise out of people? Because it doesn't fucking work.
Open here is unreal. Y'all gonna find out soon in the next election. What, when JD Vance moves on? Like what?
Or Trump is president again? Let's go.
I don't know if he's really like this angry or if he's just playing a character. And I mean that.
Both. I think he's using his character to express anger that he actually has.
Because like this sounds fucking authentic as hell, but with how people are interacting with them, this is straight up engagement post. And it's actually like fucking genius from the perspective of I'm going to grow my brand by just being that guy. Because there are so many people interacting with this. This already has 17,000.
Dude, I've gotten a lot of views on it compared to most of the videos that I've been posting. Like, it's got so many views. I fucking love it. And the shorts and the reels, they're getting a lot of engagement. Oh, I'm all for it, man.
Interactions and 1,900 retweets, 3,500 comments. Holy shit. And this was just posted earlier today. This is Endymion. Tell me you know nothing about Halo without telling me, Joe. Halo is a Christian game. So
well, it's not a Christian game. It's a game with Christian themes.
Using it as conservatives makes complete sense. Which, I mean, from that perspective, not necessarily wrong. Got into it a little bit, but Endymion kept going. Be Angry Joe. Mad Halo is used by conservatives. Composer of the series is conservative and running for Congress, by the way, in politics. Game's entire plot is a religious allegory, which it is. Flood, Ark, Halo, all Bible references. Plot is defeating beings who invade and impose their
That's probably why I love the original Halo games so much. As soon as they ditched all of that, I was out. I was done with it. Halo 4, get the fuck out of here. Didn't need it.
religion and ways upon humanity.
Everything after Halo 4 was all right, but it's just like Halo 4 was a stepping stone for going off the fucking deep end.
Against their will. Sound familiar? Point of series goes over his head. These people are highly regarded, guys. Speaking of people who are
retard alert.
Highly regarded. You guys remember when I chatted with Colin Moriarty the other day? I wonder if he's still buddies with the guy that was part of the group that booted him out of Kind of Funny, Andy Cortez, who says, Cortana voice, Chief, there's a felon running the U.S. He raped young girls on Epstein's Island, and now he's having government social media accounts tweet out all sorts of distractions in hopes that the American people will forget about it.
Is this supposed to be a joke? Is that supposed to be funny? Because, like, that just comes across to me as somebody who's mad.
This is, by the way, this is what they always do. When they don't have a point, they default back to Epstein bad. Where are the Epstein files? Which, by the way, I agree. Where are the? Tell us. I want to know. Please, I am all on board with that. In the meantime,
they can't move on. They just can't move on.
I laugh at some fucking memes. Sorry, bro. Like, I'm not disregarding. I'm not forgetting about the Epstein stuff. I still want that too. I genuinely do. But these people always have to misdirect. It's like, how
yeah, are we just gonna all stop what we're doing to talk about the Epstein files constantly forever, even though nothing's gonna happen with that? Like, that's so retarded.
Andy, take the time to tweet this, to quote tweet this, when there's a genocide going on.
How about that?
Did he even think of that? How horrible of him to waste his time during a genocide of all times. Governor Newsom, press office, quote tweeting rapid response. Consoles, more expensive. Games, more expensive. No, they're not. AAA games, yeah.
Yep.
Indie games,
exactly.
no, they're not.
Exactly.
Silksong, $30. Expedition.
Dude, retro games are cheaper than ever right now, and they keep going on sale on GOG. It's fucking great over there.
33, $50. I mean, what are we doing here? They're cheaper than ever for some of the best games I've ever played. What are we talking about? Subscriptions, more expensive. So this is what you just named.
I don't pay for subscriptions. Like, so what the fuck? That doesn't even mean anything to like real people.
Is corporate greed here? But
yeah.
What the fuck does Trump have to do with Xbox and Microsoft raising Game Pass prices? Not sure the Trump administration.
Because Trump has everything to do with everything that's bad in these people's lives.
Really wants to be talking about gaming right now. Oh, I think they do. I think they do.
Yep, because that's one of the biggest industries in our culture.
And of course, we'll leave it with this. Kotaku. The DHS says it's finishing this fight to destroy the flood right above the recruitment site for ICE. And
Good.
People in the comments are fucking loving it.
Only a bot would be happy about it. I guess I'm a bot.
It's amazing. So, yeah, I'm sure there will be more that comes from this, but I got to be honest, guys. If people can't separate the memes from gaming, that's a you problem. I enjoy this being just a spectator watching the shit fly right now. It's fucking glorious. I got to be honest.
And the fact that people are actually mad at this makes it even funnier.
I'm looking forward to more of it.
Yes,
And
let's
as far
go.
as
They're definitely going to do more of it, obviously. Because it fucking worked.
Social media from the Trump administration thus far, it has been
Historical.
incredible.
Yep. Exactly how real gamers want it to be.
Masterclass, if
10 out of
if
10.
even, on how to do it. It's been great. I'm here for it.
Donald Trump is the content president. He is the meme president, and I think it's going to be even worse for them when JD Vance gets in, because he actually knows a lot about modern culture. Trump knows a lot about 2000s culture, 90s and 80s culture, but JD Vance, he's a lot younger. Let's go, dude. Oh, it's going to be so good. So let's talk about Starfield, man, and how I think modding is probably going to save this game. Because this Star Wars game here looks fucking incredible. It makes me want to get Starfield. Like, fuck Starfield. I don't even care to actually play that game. But if the mods are going to be like this, holy shit, I think I want it.
This game might be one of the biggest thing I've ever seen, and it's being made by one single developer. And if you haven't noticed yet, it's not even a real game, it's a mod. But it might be the most ambitious mod ever done, with different planets to explore, side quests, and main missions to do.
Fucking Ubisoft. Get owned, man. Get owned. They could have done this. One guy. One modder.
Tons of creatures and people to meet and fight, vehicles to try, different cities and villages to discover, a full character customization. This really has got it all, and it's been going viral recently. Star Wars Genesis feels less like a mod and more like a full-scale galaxy that just happens to live inside the Starfield engine. You can see the leap in ambition the moment you start moving through it. The way the lighting hits
Mandalore system,
the sound of ships lifting off above the skyline, the chatter of NPCs that finally feel like citizens of a living Star Wars world. It isn't just another fan project trying to recreate scenes from the films, it's the closest thing to a true open world.
I wonder how long it'll be before Disney's like, nope, gotta get rid of this, can't have this. This is using our IP.
Star Wars experience that anyone has managed to build. If you want this project to fully release, make sure you support it at all costs in any way you can. For example, by taking a look at its website or liking this video so more people see it.
Dude, this is so cool.
Every corner of this new version feels handcrafted. Cities are denser and more layered, with alleys full of vendors.
Dude, actually, this is kind of embarrassing for Bethesda, but at least it's in a Bethesda game. So there's that. It's gonna get people to buy it.
Illegal droid traders, and underworld contacts offering side work.
Oh,
you might start on a lower level district packed with neon signs and storm drains, then climb onto rooftops to find a black market mechanic who'll outfit your speeder with new parts. The planetary hubs aren't static anymore, they evolve as you take missions and push the main factions. Helping the rebellion will shift the patrol routes and guard chatter. Working for the Empire can literally change which banners hang from the city walls. Between worlds, there's an entire spacefaring rhythm now.
This looks fucking amazing. This is what I want from AAA gaming. But dude, they're way too incompetent, way too money hungry, way too corner cutty with like laziness, corporate slop, AI generated nonsense. And then you got one guy. You get one guy to make this.
Hyperspace jumps are smoother, the ship interiors are interactive, and you can walk around while traveling. Sometimes you'll get intercepted mid-flight, pirate ambushes, rival bounty hunters, or even distress signals that can spiral into mini-quests. These encounters make traveling feel alive instead of just loading from one point to another.
Didn't even have to be Star Wars. Why couldn't Bethesda do this? They need to hire this guy just to have him like bang out DLCs or something.
Landing on a planet is where Genesis 8.5 really opens up. Desert worlds stretch for kilometers, dotted with crash transports you can scavenge for rare materials. Jungle planets are thick with wildlife, some peaceful, others violent enough to wreck your gear in seconds. Frozen outposts hide Imperial research labs that lead to secret side arcs and gear blueprints. And buried deep in old temples are puzzles and relic hunts that tie back to the larger lore. Every biome has its own lighting, weather, and sound profile. It feels like the team built a cinematic toolset to make each planet feel distinct. The quests tie all of this together. The Rebel Alliance campaign is massive, easily dozens of hours if you follow every branch. Missions range from stealth infiltrations to full-scale assaults with multiple squad members under your command.
Head of Gallifrey Yards. Everything that occurs in this system is by my command.
50,000 credits. Do we have a deal, or would you like to say your last words?
The problem, of course, is that it's heavily enforced by Imperials. You're going to need a disguise.
This kind of reminds me of Mass Effect, actually. Or, I guess, Knights of the Old Republic. This is what we could have. We could have this.
sabotage supply convoys, hijack walkers, and lead resistance fighters through chaotic city battles that feel straight out of a movie. The new deserter storyline adds a completely different tone, less about heroism, more about survival and betrayal. It sends you across the Outer Rim dealing with mercenaries, smuggling routes, and mysterious Force-sensitive ruins. Both arcs weave in side stories that expand the galaxy, like bounty contracts that turn into moral dilemmas, or escort jobs that reveal hidden cults worshipping long-lost Sith.
The more he goes on, the more I'm looking at stuff, the more I realize I need to get this fucking mod. When does it come out?
Relics.
Please give me some
info. And then there are the side activities, hundreds of them. You can work as a bounty hunter, tracking fugitives across multiple planets, dive into illegal pod racing circuits, scavenge rare ship parts to build your own customized starfighter, or collect ancient artifacts to sell on the black market. Exploration isn't filler here. You'll constantly stumble onto new dungeons, hidden outposts, or crashed ships that spawn spontaneous objectives. Some even trigger dynamic events like rival factions arriving to loot the same wreck you found first. The combat feels tighter and heavier now. Blasters and slug throwers have real punch. Each weapon class has its own recoil, weight, and sound. Melee combat got a serious upgrade. You can now parry, counter, and execute finishers with vibro blades or electro staffs. The AI reacts intelligently, ducking behind cover or rushing when you're reloading. Boss encounters stand out. A rogue inquisitor hunting you through a derelict space station, a corrupted droid swarm defending—
Dude, this looks so fucking good. Like, my mind is blown that this is just coming out of a mod. Why can't we have games like this, man?
An ancient vault, a duel on the edge of a—
like actual, real, full games.
Burning starship hull. The physics and particle effects during these fights make them spectacular to watch. Vehicles are no longer just background props. You can actually drive and pilot them across worlds.
Holy shit! A normal-looking female!
Speeders and repulsor bikes let you tear across desert plains, dodging patrols and wildlife. Heavier transports can carry your crew and loot between regions. And in orbit, space combat feels faster and more cinematic than ever. Dogfights weave through debris fields and capital ships, while massive fleet engagements fill the horizon with laser fire. Boarding sequences are now interactive. You can breach an enemy vessel, fight through corridors, and seize it for your faction. Customization is another layer of depth that keeps growing. You can—
this looks like super hot.
Tailor everything about your character: armor sets, undersuits, helmets, jetpacks, color palettes, insignias, even scars and cybernetic implants. Each choice affects gameplay. Heavy armor boosts durability but slows movement, while lighter gear enhances agility and stealth. The crafting and upgrade system lets you modify weapons with attachments, upgrade resistances, and even install experimental tech stolen from labs. Your character genuinely feels like your own creation, not a preset hero, but a soldier, smuggler, or merc built from your decisions. The NPC density has jumped too. Taverns and cantinas aren't just decoration anymore. They're full of characters who gossip about ongoing conflicts, give contracts, or react to your reputation. Some might refuse service if you've angered the Empire. Others will whisper secret rumors.
Yeah, Starfield, it really did seem like it was kind of trying to get that Star Wars vibe, but it just made it flat and boring and nothing to do. And the story was garbage, and basically the whole thing was just mid as fuck. And it looked like a very good basis for Star Wars, and I guess I was right about that.
About treasure caches or legendary weapons.
Oh,
the sense
man,
of
it looks
immersion
so
comes
cool.
from these small details. The crowd noise, the droids cleaning streets, the merchants yelling over each other, the distant hum of ships lifting off. Visually, 8.5 pushes the Starfield engine to its limits. Lighting and atmosphere have been reworked. Neon reflections bounce off wet concrete, dust storms cut visibility to a few meters, and sunsets—
they basically used Starfield to just make a whole new game.
Cast orange light across
shit
entire
free?
cityscapes. Particle effects make blaster fights feel chaotic. Sparks, smoke trails, energy impacts all bursting in motion. The soundtrack—
dude, EA needs to take notes on this one, because holy shit. We need a Star Wars that's like this.
adapts dynamically, fading between orchestral Star Wars style themes and dark ambient cues depending on what's happening around you. If you step back and look at the big picture, the sheer amount of freedom is staggering. You can start as a bounty hunter in the Outer Rim, build a reputation hunting gang leaders, then switch sides and join the rebellion to sabotage Imperial operations. Or you can ignore both and live as a trader, running smuggling routes between crime syndicates. You can explore derelict battlefields for ancient tech, rebuild your ship from scavenged parts, or spend hours perfecting your—
Dude, whatever the next Mass Effect game is, it needs to be on this level. Or it's just, I think it's not gonna be. But this is gonna be absolutely fucking embarrassing. I don't think there's even gonna be a new Mass Effect, because I just I think that if we get another Mass Effect, then it's gonna come years and years and years from now. Because whatever they had going at the previous version of EA got completely trashed. No doubt.
Armor build. The update adds enough tools and systems that no two players will have the same story.
But this just reminds me of like Mass Effect 2.
And it's not just about combat and exploration, it's about world building. You'll find datapads and terminals that expand on lore, diaries from fallen soldiers, and coded messages that hint at larger mysteries. Some missions tie directly into events from past updates, letting longtime players see how their earlier choices shape the current galaxy's state.
That's cool.
That continuity gives Genesis a sense of progression rarely seen in mod projects. The new update video shows glimpses of massive fleet battles, improved animation, and seamless transitions between ground and space combat. You can actually see the polish now, lighting effects on armor, particles reacting to explosions, smoother animations when boarding or exiting vehicles. The scale is jaw-dropping, hundreds fighting across cities, starfighters diving through skyscrapers, capital ships firing from orbit as debris rains down. The most exciting part, this is still—
How much did they spend on Star Wars Outlaws? They should have just done this.
Just another step toward the full release. The team has made it clear they're far from done. Future updates will expand faction warfare, introduce new planets, and refine everything from AI behavior to economy systems. Genesis isn't just growing, it's evolving, with every patch pushing it closer to being its own fully realized Star Wars RPG. Even if you've never played Starfield or touched a mod before, Star Wars Genesis 8.5 is worth paying attention to.
Oh, definitely.
It's the rare project where passion and ambition meet technical skill.
When's it
and
out?
It's already delivering an experience that rivals official releases. There's exploration, customization, massive battles, deep storylines, and a sense of scale that few games can match. Whether you want to fly starfighters, lead ground assaults, uncover ancient secrets, or just wander alien cities at sunset, there's a place for you in this galaxy. And the best part is knowing that every update like this one brings the dream of a full open-world Star Wars game closer to reality. Star Wars Genesis 8.5 is no longer a simple mod. It's the beginning of something much larger.
Oh yeah, I need this. Alright, I'm gonna have is it out? I can't believe that I was working on the 2026 biggest game mod. Okay, it's not out yet. So it's probably out in beta or something. Probably have to get in touch with developers. I don't see this staying up for very long. I feel like Disney would have a problem with this. But I'm gonna give this video a like, and how am I not subscribed to this guy? Absolute amazingness coming from some random people. Absolutely embarrassing AAA video games. Holy shit. This makes me want to get Starfield, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until 2026 when this is actually like a thing. Donate to the Fables Folly Farm.